Welcome fellow members of the Esoteric Order of Gamers. It's time for another Joy of Unboxing. And today, what are we unboxing? We're unboxing This War of Mine, the board game by Awaken Realms. Now, This War of Mine was originally an app, and it's a game where you try and survive in an horrific war-torn zone during a war, a modern war. So it's quite an unusual theme. And it's been translated into a board game by Awaken Realms. Now, Awaken Realms ran a Kickstarter. They had 9,627 backers for the game, and they raised £621,811. That's almost 800,000 US dollars. It was promised in February of this year. It's just arrived, just a few moments ago. It arrived on my doorstep here in New Zealand, and that's only 4 months late, which is pretty good for a Kickstarter. It looks really interesting, and I'm looking forward to playing this. I backed this one on a bit of a whim because it just looked like a good quality game, and it was a very interesting theme. So let's have a look inside. Rip off that shrink wrap. Well, what do we have here? Now, it looks like the design is quite good of this game, the graphic design, and one of the reasons it attracted me to the game, actually. And I can see that the theme has been carried nicely through all the different components from what I've seen of them online. So first we have a book of scripts. Now, I don't know much about how you play this game, but I do know it's a combination of resource gathering and a sort of choose your own adventure kind of thing. And look at all this. Wow. Now, you may not know that I was the graphic designer on the game Tales of the Arabian Nights, and that had a very similar kind of thing. It had a book full of scripts, but this is an actual bound book. It's very nice. I actually prefer the Tales of Arabian Nights one because it sat flat, and this one has quite a tight bind there, which is a bit of a shame. You see, you should put a little bit more space there in the binding so you can read in there easily. But still, it's a lovely looking book, and certainly a hell of a lot of content. Look at all this. So there's a lot of story opportunities for this game. Now, because this is set in a war zone, it's quite a grim theme, so it may not be for everybody. Here we have the journal. Now, this looks like a sort of rule book. I'm not really sure how this works yet, but there we go. I quite like this slight angle to everything. It makes it a bit more interesting, doesn't it? You can see there's 3D artwork from the game, or inspired by the game. So there's our little rules. Save sheet. This looks like some kind of sheet that allows you to save the game states between games. That's interesting. A Ziploc bag. Another Ziploc bag. This looks like a couple of scenarios. Endless Night and The Last Day. Here we have some counters, and they're falling out. They're nicely die cut, so they're just falling out, which is always good. There we go. Another counter sheet. Broken guitar, assault rifle. Oh dear. Electrical part, vegetables. You have to obviously gather food and supplies. And this game apparently has quite a few moral choices in it as well, because it's all about survival. Now here's our board. I'll unfold that a bit later so I can show you completely what's happening. Look at this, very nice indeed. We've got a plastic insert at the bottom here, and we've got our decks of cards, dice. Ooh, look, some little 3D markers there. Ooh, let's look at all the detail in here, shall we? First of all, here's our board, and doesn't it look fantastic? It's a cutaway view of a half-destroyed building. Very grim looking, and lots of spaces for cards, lots going on. Fantastic. It's really atmospheric. It's got a bit of a dead of winter vibe, but really nicely done. And look at this, folks. There's another one on the other side. Wow. Wow, this really makes me want to play this game. It looks really interesting. Right, let's look at some components. We've got some nice little plastic gear tokens here. A few clear tokens and a red one. And what could be wood, perhaps. plastic looking sort of wood grainy thing there. The wood grain's going a funny way. But really nice to see little plastic 3D counters instead of cardboard counters. It's a really nice touch. We've got a few custom dice here. There's a 10-sided dice and a couple of other strange dice with symbols on them. Here we've got some miniature bases to differentiate between miniatures. And here are the miniatures themselves. These are our poor struggling survivors. And here they are, and they're pretty good quality, nicely detailed. All little individual characters, everyone is different. Very nice pieces, and I believe there's some extra ones in the stretch goals box as well, which we'll look at in a moment. Right, here we have all the cards in the game, and there's one thing here that I appreciate right away, and that's the fact they have the names of the cards on the cards. Residents, colours, locations, findings. I can see exactly what these decks of cards are. There's a bit of a trend in game design these days where you just have some illustration on the front and you never know what card is which. I really like to have the name of the deck on the deck so I can get to it easily. So I like the way they've done that. And there's some nice looking cards here. The actual material of the card is a little bit thin, it's shiny, and it's not linen finished or anything. A little bit low quality. I think I'll be sleeving these actually, just to keep them undamaged, because they're just a bit thin. That's my only criticism. So we've got events, and there's a lot of text in this game, as you can see. A lot of reading, a lot of theme, locations, a lot of information on these, and some nice graphics as well. Really impressed with the graphic design throughout, really. Colours, not sure what that's about. Final objective, help the sick and wounded. Collect vegetables, water delivery for the local thugs, food for the hungry, taking care of ourselves, staying fit, survive. Narrative actions. Visitors. Beggars, doctor, gossip. Wow. Build a workshop. Looks like there's a crafting element in this as well. Build a trap. Look at this graphic. It's great. Lots of detail. Interesting. Here's all the things you can build. Vegetable garden, bed, stove, trap. Wow. These look like the characters. Cat burglar, warehouse worker, TV host, headmistress, lawyer. Rubble remnants. This looks like bits you can get, components, wood. Ah. This is what you search through, heaps, furniture, rubble. Residents, civilians, homeless, rats, rebels, survivors. Wow. Findings. Pantry, furniture, heap. This is all the things you can find. Night raids, rugged hoodlums, hobos, looters. Oh dear, starving people. Oh, it is a little bit grim. And finally, not sure what's going on here. A lot of different cards and details there. There's even some blank ones there if you want to put your own stuff in. Oh, here we are. They're fate cards. I'm sorry. Fate and exploration cards. Well, as you can see, heaps and heaps of cards. So if you back the Kickstarter campaign like I did, you'd also get some stretch goals. And here they are. A nice little box with a few extras in it. So there's a bag of extra characters. Quite a few. Look nice. And we've got a very nice terrain element here, which is a ruined statue of an angel. And actually that's something I can use in my tabletop miniatures games. There's a couple more decks of cards. We've got specials here. Rooms and corridors, hiding spaces. Rooms, corridors, street, build things. Orphans of war. Oh dear. A few more residents and bits and bobs. There's so much detail in here, it's astonishing. This looks like it's going to be a very interesting experience. And there's a whole heap of blank cards. Don't know what that is. Funny looking map rooms and things. The cat, the dog. Sewer map. You go through the sewers, kid actions, heart of the city, hidden objectives. Whew, desperate measures. Unbelievable. There's some very nice fancy looking custom dice. These are obviously the same dice as in the main set, but with some extra decoration. And finally there's this, which is a little promo for Lords of Hellas, which is the new Kickstarter these guys have started, and it's going on now. And actually I wasn't particularly interested in it, but after seeing this I'm a little bit more interested, and I'm going to go check it out again. It's a big area control game with a big map and lots of pieces, and they've very kindly put in a sample miniature. As you can see, it's quite impressive, and what they've done is used a pre-painting technique. It's not really painting, but they've painted it black and then sprayed white down from above to give a zenithal highlight. And it really brings out the depth in the miniature, and it's quite a nice miniature as is. Now, there's also a sleeve here with something else in it. Now this is very nice. It's something you don't see very often at all. Dear backer, it's our great honour to deliver this brief message to you along with our board game, and thanking us for the support, which I think is fantastic. Here's the signatures of the people involved. That is a very nice touch and very much appreciated. Other Kickstarters take note. I think that's lovely. So here's some more counters, and that looks like a sort of sewer map, doesn't it? So there's just a nice piece of artwork. Number 317. That's a sealed envelope. I have no idea what that is. Open if you've managed to successfully finish the campaign. That's intriguing. Heart of the City expansion, including the Sewers and Orphans of War books. Look, more background stuff. Wow. About stretch goals. So this tells you how to use the extra stretch goals. And this looks like a sewer map or some form of map. So, wow, there you have it, folks. This War of Mine, the board game. And really, this is the most impressive Kickstarter I've seen in a while. I mean, it's got great graphic design, lots and lots of components, obviously a hell of a lot of writing involved for that story material. And I'm really looking forward to getting this to the table. It looks really interesting, and obviously they put their heart and soul into this game. So it's a challenging, different theme, which I think is great, because I like to see new themes in board gaming. I'm hoping it'll sort of make me think and enjoy the game as well. So that's it. This War of Mine, the board game by Awaken Realms. Very glad to receive it. Hope you've enjoyed this video. That's it for this joy of unboxing from the Esoteric Order of Gamers. Remember to visit the website, orderofgamers.com, subscribe to the channel, all the rest of that stuff. And I really appreciate any support you can give the Esoteric Order of Gamers so we can continue bringing you great stuff. Thanks for watching.